she's looking into, what can she do with the health care, or at this time of, being home with this baby. She's losing work. She's probably taking home 60-70% of her pay, sitting at home. She's probably saying to herself, hey, I got to get back into it.
Oh, welcome everybody to another episode of Cardi's Perspective. And how is everybody doing? Shout out to JFK, Kevy Kev, and James last night for a wonderful, spectacular event. I truly enjoyed myself last night. That was something to see, and I'm glad I was able to make it. But in hindsight, I'm sitting here thinking, right? I was thinking about how DCFS, and y'all might have it called DYS out here or in Massachusetts, right? So DCFS really screwed up my school system. And how did they ask? How you ask me? All right. Now, with me being moved from home to home to home to group home to group home, I went to a lot of different schools. Now, all the schools I went to, I never had no behavior disorder problem. Like, I wasn't outlandish, I wasn't cussing, I wasn't doing that. I might have a few spells here and there in my elementary stage, but that was different. Up until then, I ain't had no behavior disorder classes. Now, I go to this one group home, and it was mandatory that if you was on the campus, you had to go to PACE first. Now, PACE is a school in Illinois. That would be where they sent all the bad kids. So if you got expelled, you went to PACE. So all the worst of the worst kids goes to those schools, right? So they brought me up to PACE to try to get me in the school. PACE told them that they couldn't accept me because I never had no behavioral disorder, let alone any behavior disorder classes. All right, cool. So in my mind, I'm like, cool. I ain't got to be here with these degenerates. I can go ahead and get my education where it's supposed to be, right? Wrong. I sat out of school for about a good 3 weeks, maybe a month. Literally, sat out of school, nothing, not a pencil, not a pad, not a book to read. And next thing you know, they came with some news. It was like, yeah, you finna get ready to go to school. And I'm so happy. I'm like, yes, finally, I can get up out of this damn campus. I can get out of this damn room. I can go ahead and be amongst the regular people. I was like, okay, so what school am I going to? Because I already had my mind on going to this one particular high school. So I was like, yeah, I can't wait till I get over there. These motherfuckers told me that I was going to PACE. What? I was so mad. Now, I wasn't as mad because a few of my friends that I had met in the group home, they did go to the school, like my boy Freeman. That was one of my best friends at the time. So Freeman went to PACE. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's go soften the blow. In hindsight, I never had no behavior disorder classes, right? So I go to this school, and I am a person who adapts to their environment, per se. So I go to the school, and I'm looking, and these kids are off the hook. They're doing whatever they want to do, fighting every day, fighting the staff members, getting tackled, getting thrown in quiet rooms, all types of madness, right? My adaptation of that place was what it was. Next thing you know, now I'm the one that's fighting students. Now I'm the one that's being disruptive. Now I'm the one that's, causing a lot of ruckus, to the point where when I moved from that group home to another group home, they was integrating me back into normal school. So now I got to prove myself. So now I'm going PACE full time now at this time. And then I started showing them that I can curve my enthusiasm. So with that, I started working, and then they started slowly getting me integrated back in regular school. So now I'm going to Maine East, and this is a school way up in Park Ridge, Illinois. If you know, you know. It's where Hillary Clinton literally grew up at. Harrison Ford went to my high school too. Facts. So I'm going to Maine East. I like to call Maine East the Harvard of high schools. It was very prestigious, very big. They had a lot of opportunities, and it was very diverse. They had every single race in that school, which I found very cool. So as I'm going to Maine East now, as it's leveling out. So basically, I get to the point where I only have 2 classes to do in PACE, and everything else I'm just doing a regular school. I'm going up, I'm going there, I'm building, learning stuff, and then I get into a confrontation with not a principal, not a dean. I think it was a cafeteria person. I know she was in the cafeteria, and she ended up taking like my headphones I had at the time. And instead of me taking that L with grace, I'm so young in the head, and then I got everybody looking at me. So now I feel that I have to show out. And show it out I did. And they showed out too, because they kicked me the fuck up out that school. And I learned a valuable lesson at that time. Don't ever perform for people who are not going to pay you. Because if those people would have paid me for that performance and I still got kicked out, at least it would have been some type of justification. But in hindsight, there was no justification for that. I was an asshole. I should have took that L. But, you know, that was there. This is now. But that's how DCFS screwed up my high school. Literally, they screwed up my high school life. Because after that part, I ended up transferring to my own apartment. Now I got my own apartment. I'm 17 years old now. I have my own apartment, and I'm responsible for taking myself to school. Now I'm on the west side of Chicago. And if anybody know anything about Chicago, Chicago is very gang bang, gang culture, really. It's like that, for real, for real. It's a lifestyle. It's just not, you don't really have a choice. You can choose to get down or lay down, as Beanie Siegel said. So now I'm on the west side, and there's a lot of, let's just say, gang differences, and I couldn't go to that school. I couldn't go to that school. So I ended up, you know, dropping out, and then I ended up later on going to Job Corps, getting my GED, getting me a trade, going to college, and doing miraculous things in life. And here I am in front of you to say that no matter what goes on, you still got to push through the pain, and you can't cheat the grind. And with that being said, I hope everybody has a good day. And hey, I'm trying to keep the positive motivation going on through my experiences and the experiences of others, because we're not all alone. We're not doing this alone.